Casablanca, a city with a Portuguese name, inhabited by Muslims, presided over by the French. Polyglot, cosmopolitan, as modern as air conditioning. But you never can tell about a city. You never can tell what's inside. And inside, behind the gleaming skyscrapers, the penthouses, the department stores, the neon-lit cinemas, inside and rotten and stinking like an old wound, is the Mellah. The Jewish ghetto of Casablanca. Even a ghetto of paupers must have its marketplace. Merchants of poverty, bringing little, buying and selling less, returning home with nothing. The men have nothing, and the boy has nothing. And yet you never can tell about a boy. You never can tell what's inside. His name is Free Jacques, a pauper. The son of paupers, the brother and nephew and cousin of paupers, the relative by marriage and the devoted friend of generations of indomitable paupers. And therefore he is an incurable optimist, and a braggart, which is logical, a swaggerer, an occasional truth-teller, a petty thief, a big shot, none of which has anything to do with his character, which is good. Monsieur Free Jacques, who knows how to salute the opposite sex with an air of elegance, and how to judge the commercial possibilities of a pile of garbage. Free Jacques begins each day with the prayer, "The soul which thou hast given me, O Lord, is pure." And he doesn't begin to steal until all other possibilities are exhausted. The well-bred boy never steals too much. A few hairpins or a broken comb or a pencil or a spool of thread, or perhaps, like today, a few shoelaces. Shoelaces, shoelaces. There's a rule of decency about such things. After all, you can be a thief, but you mustn't be a pig. You take barely enough to start your day with a modest capital, and then you work your way up. One broken pencil, for example, bartered for a fountain pen without a point. The fountain pen traded for a shirt without buttons, the shirt exchanged for a pair of pants without pockets, and so on until you acquire a bicycle without wheels, which is an excellent day's work. Shoelaces, shoelaces, to find shoelaces, both the same length shoelaces, one guaranteed for a left shoe, the other for a right shoe, which is a subtle point in merchandising and which cannot be overstressed. Shoelaces, shoelaces, to find shoelaces, shoelaces. The merchant of two-footed shoelaces in pursuit of a buyer. Note, today we are offering this wrinkle-proof mirror as a premium. No sale, no shoes. Motivation. Ah, that's what's lacking. Who needs shoelaces if not a shoemaker? What am I offered, old man? 1 franc. Shame on you, old man. 2 francs. But these are imported shoelaces. They agree on 2 francs, 5 centimes. A centime is roughly worth 1/100th of a torn Tsarist ruble divided by 3. But it's the principle of the thing, mind you. The poor of the Mellah share their wealth. For without the law of tzedakah, which is more than charity, the gates of paradise are closed. When a man has performed a kindness, he is able to eat with his own grace. The problem is what to eat. Now, what Free Jacques is doing is not stealing. He is seeing to it that at least one entrepreneur gives a portion of his income to charity. In such tactful ways do the residents of the Mellah assure each other of the life hereafter. Look at him well. His name is Free Jacques. It comes from Frère Jacques. And Frère, exactly translated, means brother. the family of the boy Jacques, inhabiting one small room together in unspeakable poverty. And yet, observe them well. They are neither without manners nor without tradition. Marvel at them, the poor Jews of Casablanca, poorer Jews than ever you dreamed of. They have no possessions save what you see. They have few prospects save unemployment, an existence upon the margins of life, an expectancy of early death. And yet for the little they have, they are grateful. For a glass of mint steeped in hot water, which they call tea. For water itself, and for the glass itself. For bread when it comes, and an orange when it comes. And potatoes so small they would be shamed by a walnut or an olive. The family of Jacques. In the plays of William Shakespeare, new scenes are sometimes labeled another part of the forest. This is another part of the Casablanca forest, the courtyard of the Ain Saba Art School. These boys, until yesterday or last month or last year, were boys like Jacques. The boys call you Gigi. You are a teacher. And today there will be a convergence of teacher and boy. For it is time. It is more than time. When a vacancy occurs, when a bed is available, suddenly in your hand you hold salvation, and so you dare not choose lightly. Your messengers have gone out, their reports have been studied, and if today you have chosen a boy named Jacques, it is not only because of what he is, but also for the man he might become. You are glad for this boy, and you will bring him here. But there are so many boys who still must wait, and so many girls. Why Jacques and not another? There is always this uneasiness, this discontent, this taste of the bitter herb and the Passover honey each time you are sent to liberate a child from the bondage of the Mellah. What of the others who remain? You are only a teacher. By whose arrogance do you play God? But this philosophizing is for the modern section of Casablanca, not for the Mellah. Here you hold your breath, you watch where you're going. This is where 60,000 Jews celebrate the Sabbaths and new moons of their lives, their festivals of tuberculosis, dysentery, and yours. The men are old at 40, the women are old at 30, the children are ready to die the moment they are born. Of every 5 children born of Jewish parents, 1 will die in the first year. 2 more will die before the 5th year. The survivors will have eyes scarred, or half blind, or entirely blind with trachoma. But this is the lesser sickness. The greater sickness is the sickness of men with nothing to do. Children whose parents cannot watch over them because they are sick, or feeble, or dead. If water is scarce, there are tears enough to cook with, to wash with, to salt the dough that will be bread. By the standards of the Mellah, these children are vigorous and healthy. And these are also healthy, although they are blind. And these are not blind, and yet blind even so. Such cunning hands, so skillful to steal a coin from a tourist, so spendthrift to the years of childhood. It's better not to think of this, better to think of one boy and to avoid the local sanitation system. And so you come to the house of Jacques, where the bedding is hung out to dry and the small children are sent out to play. Observe the house of a Jewish family, without light, without a window, without the barest necessities. And yet this house is not entirely a place of squalor. because they put on their Sabbath clothes, knowing you were coming, because of the courtesy of their welcome, because poor as they are, they teach their children Bereshit bara Elohim, and they know a word of Hillel and Rambam, and therefore they greet you as Messiah, son of David, because you have come to take their eldest son out of this darkness. In the Hollywood legend, the boy always runs away when the teacher comes. But this is the Mellah of Casablanca, and the Ort School is like the temple on Zion's hill. He has waited for this moment all the years of his life, and they have waited with him. Ma mère, est-ce que je peux aller avec le maître? Très bien, tu peux aller avec Dieu. The only advantage of being poor is that it doesn't take long to pack. Besides, secretly, you have packed this bag 100 times. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless thee, free Jacques, and keep thee. May the Lord cause his countenance to shine upon thee. And upon thee, Mama, upon thee. A ghetto family seeing a son off to school. Father, mother, uncle, aunt, brothers, sisters, cousins. Proud. So proud because a boy is off to school. Because redemption is through knowledge and not through ignorance. ORT, Organization for Rehabilitation Through Training. The same city, but a new world. And one small boy lost in the world. Free Jacques still, Free Jacques the same, but with the spit dry in his mouth, alone, afraid, a stranger. An immigrant from the Middle Ages suddenly face to face with the middle of the 20th century and no friend. One friend, this man Gigi, this teacher with the soft voice and the brown eyes, who once himself was a boy and a stranger, and also afraid. You hadn't bargained for this. A school, yes, a classroom, certainly, a workshop by all means, but a nurse and a doctor and these questions. My name is Free Jacques. I'm going to be 16 years old. That's right, 16. Yes, the Mellah can stunt a life. Trachoma. Not too much scar tissue. Ears negative. Hair, scalp. Not too bad. Chest, negative. Spleen, abdomen, fair enough. Not too bad in general. Pretty good, in fact. You knew you were pretty good. You stayed alive, didn't you? In the Mellah, only the strong survive. And now they show you a miracle of the 20th century. A bed of your own, a whole bed. And old friends, Pierre, Bernard, Georges, Chaim, Etienne. Sure, he's a friend. I used to steal with him. Regarde. Free Jacques, regarde. C'est un douche chaud, compris? What does he think I am, a dope? An infant? Sure, I know what a shower is. And this is soap. Well, I know it's soap. What does he think I am?
Ah, it's good. It's very good.
Only someone who has lived on a cup of rationed water all his life can know the luxury of a shower bath. Water that runs and runs, that you don't have to save and use again. Only someone like Fru Jacques can know. And only a boy who has worn rags can know what it is to put on a shirt that no one has ever worn, and a pair of shoes that are brand new and that fit. Only a boy can know. Oh, Mama, if you could only see, they gave me a comb for my hair. Why do you have to keep it? I just have to, that's all. It's my sweater, that's why. My aunt knitted it, that's why. For you? For my uncle. He gave it to me after my cousin was finished with it. That's how it got all the holes. He was very careless, my cousin. One thing I'll say for myself, I'm not careless. Are you sure it's safe? Now, who would want to steal it? You'd be surprised. The world's full of thieves. Where are we going? For something to eat. In your whole life, Fru Jacques, in all your dreams, did you ever imagine a shower and new shoes and a doctor and a bed with white sheets and a blanket of wool? Did you? And all of this, in this kitchen, a gift of women's American art. These women who never saw you, whom you will never see to thank. And did you imagine that food could smell like this and look like this and taste like... But it isn't ready. But the chef, he'll give you some of his own meal. Not so fast, young fellow. What's your hurry? What? The bracha, the blessing for bread. Pretty handsome fellow, aren't you, Fru Jacques? I wonder if they've got girls here. Oh, yes, at the other end of Casablanca in the art school for girls. That's what Etienne said. Hey, fellas, what's domestic science? But medical science is more important. 4 times each day, this treatment for trachoma. It's a strange thing, but why should women in America care one way or the other whether some kids in Casablanca can see? Strange, but if that's what they want, okay. And this woodworking shop, it's also what they want. It isn't just a woodworking shop. This is economic security. This is the redemption of a people of whom only 17% are gainfully employed. This is the introduction of the skills of modern industry into the lives held captive by the handicraft systems of the 15th century. This is art. In school and already a pencil behind the ear. Big shot. But maybe he's entitled to it, because he's learned that a life is like a piece of wood, more useful when it's straight. Boys and machines. More than machines, because the art program is more than merely vocational. The theory of machines is also taught. The principles of physics and mathematics, languages and literature. Yes, boys and machines, but the boys always more important than the machines. and in the beginning afraid of the machine. Jacques, soyez tranquille. You are the master, not the machine. Pay attention. I will teach you how to be master. Demain, nous lirons de la trompette en Israël. Maintenant, mangez le pain et chocolat. Life is not all bread. Life is silver trumpets and chocolate. Ma mère, Mama, me regarde. Ma, look at me now. I'm in the sun and I'm playing. Voici la journée que l'Éternel a faite. This is the day which the Lord hath prepared for me. Hello, Frère Jacques. Hello, Kiki. Lonesome? Not much. It happens to all of us. Kiki, tell me, how do you become a teacher? How did you go about it? I studied at the Ort Training School for Teachers in Angers, Switzerland. Oh, yes, you have to study to be a teacher. That's what a teacher is, someone who always learns. We were student teachers from 20 different countries, and we were trained not merely to teach the vocational sciences, but to teach exact skills, to teach the finest precision work in Europe and Africa and Asia and the Middle East. To be an Ort graduate means something, a person of skill. And skill, Frère Jacques, is something no one can ever take away from you. Not ever. And that's a satisfying thing to know. A very satisfying thing. Ma mère, you know something? I'm satisfied. And Frère Jacques, we are satisfied to come from the Mellah, to see your school and your teacher, and to wait for you. Shalom, ma tante. Shalom, mon père. Shalom, mon oncle. Shalom, mama. Come, I will show you my workshop. Mama, this is what I learn. I can do this, I can work this machine, I can work this one. It's a lathe, and this is a different kind of lathe. Mama, this is my friend Georges, and over there that's Etienne. He's Georges' cousin. And Mama, over here, that's a universal lathe. Cost a lot of money. They sent it from America. The women, I told you about them, Mama, didn't I? It's a good school, Mama. You'll eat here later. We get meat every day, not only on Shabbat. You take a shower every day. You let the water run. You know, Mama, I think I'll study to be an airplane mechanic. Or, you know, maybe I'll work in the shipyard or in a factory. I haven't made up my mind. Or maybe, Mama, please listen to me because this is very important. Maybe I'll be a teacher. Oh, Mama, it's a good school and I have good teachers and I want to show you everything. But you have to pay attention, Mama. This is my workshop, this is my teacher, this is my bench, these are my machines, and these are my friends. And I have something to tell you, Mama. Shehechayanu, Mama. Shehechayanu, Vikiyamanu, Vihigianu, Mama. Oh, Mama.